Okay, we are discussing locating arpeggios. Now, I use a pretty simple system that was shown to me by Tom Quayle, actually for scales, but I use this for arpeggios as well. And what I'll do is I will start the arpeggio or the scale, but in this case the arpeggio, with each finger of the left hand. So in other words, I'll start with the first finger, and you can see that that's going to basically do one of two things. You're either going to do two notes on the A string, and you're going to do the final note, the fifth, on the D string, although you don't have to do that. I mean, I want to make that really clear. You know, wherever I show you, they're just ideas. If you find other ways to do it, that's absolutely fine. So you could go and stay on the same string, and that's really useful if you're going to change positions. Okay, so that's the first finger, but generally I will go, if I'm going to stay in position, first finger, it's going to be 7, 10 on the A, and I'm going to finish up with 9 on the D. So we move on to the next finger, and that's going to be the second finger, and that kind of takes me in this direction where I'm going to go, I'm going to do the shape like that, which is going to be 7 on the A, it's going to be 5 on the D, and it's going to be 9 again on the D. And again, that can kind of keep you in position, but also come out of position as well, as you saw there. Okay, so next finger is going to be the third finger. Now, the only time I'll probably do this is if I'm going to do something like bending up to the fifth. Which is still, you know, an arpeggio, just that I'm bending it. And so that would be why I would use that third finger. The other reason may be, for example, I might want to do the fifth there. And, you know, if I was to do it like that, that wouldn't be quite as nice. For some reason, for me, I would do that. And that's just another way of playing the arpeggio. And finally, I'll start it on the little finger, the pinky of the left hand, and that will generally make me go one note per string, which will be 7 on the A, it will be 5 on the D, and 4 on the G. So that's how I would personally do it. And it's kind of an exercise right there. And you can apply that to the other inversions, you know, so if you was to say, for example, you were going to start on the fifth, you can basically go there and see where that takes you. In this case, if you start on the first finger, you're going to get this, you know, if you're staying in position. But again, I'm stressing that you can do, you know, whatever you want to do. And so that was the fifth on the 7 low E, we have the root on the 7 A, and we go up to the third on the 10A, so like this. And again, this lends itself to a bending idea. And always take advantage of anything. If you see something and think, oh, you know, that's cool, I can do this with it, then do it. And we move to the second finger. Again, this would probably be, okay, but then I would also, me personally, I'd probably do that with the third finger, probably just because I'm used to playing blues that way. And then finally, if we started this with the little finger, you've pretty much got the same. Now you might do that if you're going to change position, okay? You notice what I did there? Fifth, root, third, fifth, root, third. I've actually never played that before, at least I don't think I have. But it just goes to show you that although the guitar can be sort of challenging position-wise, it can, you know, sort of push you in a direction where you can do things that you haven't done before. And that is the way that I locate arpeggios. Now, I do want to just add one thing here. I personally wouldn't get tied down with learning 500 or 600 of any of this or that. I find on my travels a lot of the people that know tons and tons and tons and tons are not always the best players. You know, I find a lot of times the really, really good players, or the musical players with soul and feel and heart, you know, and musicality, they'll know a few things and they'll really make the best out of those things. You're going to find some exceptions to that rule. Tom Quayle's an exception, Sam Bell's an exception. There's some others. They know tons and tons and tons and stuff and still seem to be very melodic, soulful and, you know, fantastic players. But, you know, you just got to be careful that you don't get too bogged down with learning, you know, 600 or 700 of everything and not end up making any music. Like once you've learned, like even though what I showed you just there, it's really, really good idea to take that and start to make music with it as quick as you can. And also I've made all of these arpeggios go up, and I would like to just add that, you know, it's also a good idea to go down with them. So in the case of the first arpeggio, you go. Obviously you have to move out of position from time to time, but that's it. You can experiment with the same thing. Okay, so that's how I locate arpeggios.